my name is Vera Ribeiro. I'm a volunteer here at Cantinho da Milu. I've been working here since 2014, and in these past years I've seen many entries and many exits of our dogs, and I like what I do a lot, and dogs are my passion. That's why I'm here. So we are here since 2009, I think, more or less. Since 2009, we have grown in numbers of dogs. Our space, it's the same. We have 25,000 square meters, and that's it. Yes.
So the space has remained the same,
yes.
But the amount of dogs has
yes.
grown.
So we have the same space, only the amount of dogs that have been growing up every year.
Okay. How many dogs did you start with?
I think when Milu started here, she started by fencing all the area. So she have bought the land, then she fenced the area, and then she started to build the little houses for the dogs. And by that time, I think she was here with 100 dogs, more or less. Okay. So now we have 700 and a few. So it's been a raising of amount of dogs, like
7-fold.
Yes.
What about the staff? Did it also increase 7-fold?
Yes, we had to increase the staff, the employees here. We have employees here that work full-time, like 7 people now, and we have the volunteers that have increased as well, passing the years. We are now with an amount of 15 to 20 volunteers, but we are not enough. We do our work proudly, but we need to raise more volunteers.
What would be the ideal amount of volunteers, you think?
I think for the amount of dogs that we have, I think like if we raise up to like 40 people, it will be good. 40 people, and that can be spread through the days. So it will be good to have like 40 people, and that 40 people will be spread by the days of the week.
Yeah.
Because now the volunteers come to the shelter mostly on Saturdays and on Sundays, and in the weekdays we have not.
You're understanding?
Yes.
Okay. And in terms of this growth, it's probably something that you don't want, because it's good to have a certain amount of dogs, but not too many, obviously. Yes. What do you think needs to happen for this number to decrease again?
I think we'll need to change mentalities and change laws here in Portugal. We have here in the shelter and in all the shelters in the country, mostly they work in the same way. We sterilize the dogs, and if we do that in the other dogs outside the shelter, it will be good.
Are you talking about stray dogs or dogs that are held privately?
Stray dogs would be the first ones to be sterilized.
Yeah.
Like we have also in Portugal, we have some programs that pick the dogs from the street. They sterilize the dogs and then they return the dog to the street. That's good. Okay. to reduce the amount of stray dogs, but also people in their homes. It will be good that people always castrate and sterilize the dogs, and we have, or like if we had like an entity that controlled the amount of dogs that are bred, like in certain countries of the European Union, we have that. We have countries in the European Union that don't have dogs for adoption, because they control really good the breeding and the sterilization, and everyone is fully aware and are responsible for the dogs that they have at home. And here in Portugal, don't work like that. So I think if we do that in a reduced amount of time, like shortly, we will see all the shelters in the country reducing as well the amount of dogs.
So the problem of the massive growth over the past, let's say, 15 years or 13 years,
Yes,
is something that you can also observe in other dog shelters?
yes,
Okay.
of course, yes.
So it's very similar.
Yes, we raise here the amount of dogs and the other shelters in the country as well. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that has changed throughout those, let's say, this last decade, in terms of mentality of dog owners, or about the space, or about the dogs, and anything you want to share?
I think we are better than we were like 10 years ago, because people, we see that people are more aware of what is to have a dog, to own a dog. I think people are aware of that. But we still need to have like support. Like when you have an owner has a problem with the dog, that the dog is reactive or aggressive, you don't see many options given to the owner to resolve the problem. Like now we have seen an increase of dog walkers and dog trainers, but I think the percentage of people that goes to a school, a dog school or a dog trainer is not that high. Okay, so I think we have a long way to go, but I think if we start now, I think we will shortly, we will get the other, like the other countries of the Europe are.
And do you think it's a problem of time for the dog owners, or rather a problem of money to go and search for a trainer?
Now we have started to see already the problem with the money.
Okay.
So like in Portugal and like in the other countries of the European Union, we have seen like the recession coming, and that people have even less money in the month. So when they cut in the dog food, in the dog care and health. We see that, yes. And when people get to a point that don't have any money, they discharge the dog. But on the other side, we don't have laws that penalize that kind of situation. Like you discharge the dog and you don't get any penalty for that.
Since you've spent many years here and you've seen a lot of things happening around the dogs, would you be willing to share something that was particularly sad, and then we move to the more positive side, and something that was particularly funny or positive that really stayed in your memory?
Okay, so recently I was with a dog that was here, and I picked the dog here and took the dog home, at my home, and he was blind. He was like 10 years blind, and he got sick. Then we had to rush him to the vet, and the dog just quit. Yes, yes, because he quit. We say here, that's an expression we use it here, like he quit living. So
He gave up.
yes, he gave up. So he didn't eat food, any kind of food. We gave him like several amount of food, like several like rice with chicken that dogs love, or like dry food. The other food he didn't took any food. He only drank water, so he was in the vet like 1 week, and after that week he passed away at the vet. So we think that he was so sad of being left here, and with that condition of being blind, it was too much for him, and he just gave up.
Yeah. Have you faced something like this before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not at my house. I'm doing that kind of work just like 1 year from now, because I have space, and then the dogs that have some kind of difficulty here, like they are sick or they are blind and they are old. At the time I took one home. When that got adopted, I took the other one. Yes. So I do. Yes. But we have faced that here already. Yeah.
Wow. And
the good.
the good one, yeah.
Yes. So, 6 years ago, more or less, I picked a dog from the street near my house, near where I live. She was at the side of the street, just sitting there, and I passed in my car. I stopped, and she came running to my car, and she had a leg. She limped, and the leg, she was not putting the leg on the floor. Yes, so I brought the dog here, then we took the dog to the vet, and that leg was already broken like in several months. And there was nothing to do in the vet, so they amputated the leg. It was a back leg. So she had 3 legs, and she was black. Like black dogs are a little bit, they are the last ones to get adopted.
Okay.
Yes. So she had that 2 conditions that were not very positive.
Yeah.
But like she was here in the shelter like for 1 year or 2 years, and then she got adopted by a girl in Lisbon.
Yeah.
And she, now we see, because we have the Instagram,
Yeah.
and the girl take the dog everywhere. She travels with the dog. It's amazing.
So
Yes.
the dog is still alive?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
wow,
It's Betsy. Yes.
That's it.
Yes, she was a full dog, because she was really, she didn't like to be, like she was here, she didn't want to leave. If we take her, she will bite us.
Okay.
She was really hard to manage. Yes, but the girl was amazing with her.
She was able to take care
Yes.
of her, so that she was domesticized.
Yes, everything went well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, after the interview, I will allow myself to ask you for the content of the Instagram, so maybe we can share this,
Yes,
with the audience.
yes.
And then maybe a last experience, something very crazy or something very bizarre, neither positive or negative, just.
Oh, I don't know. There are so many crazy things.
Yeah.
Like last month, a guy came here, and he had a female dog, a little female dog, like a whippet, like a little galgo, like a whippet. He came with the dog, and the dog was in a supermarket bag. And he came here, and
A plastic bag?
he delivered the dog to Milu, and then he went away, like that, just like that. Yeah.
Why do you think it was a bag? Why didn't he?
I don't
let it
know.
walk?
I don't know. The dog was very sick.
Okay.
She's still alive, but she has a kidney failure. So like that, it's crazy. And we also see like crazy people here that don't have a health speaking, like they say weird things, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes have puppies here? Like, do dogs here in the shelter sometimes get pregnant?
No.
Or be brought pregnant?
We don't. Dogs here don't give birth.
Yeah.
The puppies that we have here, they come from outside. Like sometimes people who have a female dog, and then the female dog gives birth to puppies, like a litter, and they come here and they dump the litter here sometimes with the mother, or sometimes without the mother. Sometimes people find dogs in the street, puppies in the street and they come here. So here we don't do like birth.
Yeah.
The only puppies we have here, they come from outside.
Do you have puppies at the moment?
Yes,
Yeah.
like 50.
Okay.
Yes.
50.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think we will have time to go there and
Yes,
see them
of
today?
course. Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
And in terms of the future, how do you see the forecast, let's say, over the next 2 or 5 or 10 years? Do you think there's hope to get this, as you mentioned before, to change the law, to have this penalties, and to create more awareness for dog owners?
I always try to keep optimistic with that, and I always think we have like salvation, but I don't see it happening in my generation. Maybe in my son's generation it will be better, but in my generation I don't see a large difference coming.
So you think that the amount of dogs here at your shelter and other shelters will keep increasing?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Like this past week, the dogs that entered the shelter were 35.
okay.
And in a week, we don't give 35 dogs away. Yes. So, in that kind of logic, the amount of dogs that enters is always larger than the amount of dogs that exits. So,
What is the typical amount of dogs that you send with someone throughout the week or throughout the month?
we send in in good weeks. We can rehome like 10 dogs, 10, 15 dogs. But we have also the summer. The summer is a season that the adoptions decrease.
Yeah, because people go on
Because,
vacation.
yeah, sai daí! Sai daí!
Come on.
Vai! So on vacations, people don't adopt. Yeah, it's like a little bouncing through all the year. Yeah, it's a number that bounces. Por que a Bel está aqui? Pronto. Já foi.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about the space or about dog owners or something, a message that you'd like to share?
The only thing I would like to say is that it's for people try to be more responsible and more aware of what the dog is and the place of the dog in the family. Because we are seeing more people that consider the dog like a family member, but I think it still needs to be better than what it is right now. Yeah.
Huge thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
And now let's go and see the puppies.
Yes, let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.